Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show. Today I'm going to show you how to make no salt vegetable broth.
Whole food plant-based, it's the best thing for our taste. So pull up a chair and grab a plate, 'cause it's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Okay guys, so vegetable broth. There are so many recipes out there that require vegetable broth. And if you go to the grocery store like I have and look and look and look for no sodium vegetable broth, it is almost impossible. You can find low sodium, but even that I kind of question what exactly is in there. So I would rather make it myself, and it's so incredibly simple, and it's a great way to add a bunch more nutrition to a lot of different meals and soups and stews. So I start with, I have these Ziploc bags that I just keep in the freezer so I can just reuse them and reuse them and reuse them so I don't waste as much plastic, because I know that's, plastic isn't great. But you could use other kinds of, the glass containers or anything else to keep your vegetables in. So we eat a lot of vegetables, right? Being on a whole food plant-based diet, you eat a lot of vegetables. So I keep all of my scraps and I just keep them in the bag. I just toss them in the freezer along with, already frozen ones. See, there's room there. I could just keep tossing it in till it's full. And when I have a few bags full, then I make some vegetable broth. And it's so easy. These are still frozen, so we're just gonna put them in our pan. And if you wanna thaw them out first, that's fine too, but it's really not necessary. I might have too much for my pan, but we'll just go with what we've got here. So this is a whole package of from juicing, so it's a really fine little pulp, if you can see it there. I might have to shift things around a little bit to get that in there. And yes, this is going to be it looks like it's overflowing here, but once these vegetables thaw out, it'll go right down. Okay, so this might be overkill. So that was, about, probably at least 2 gallon-sized Ziplocs full. And then I have water here. This is an 8-cup container, and this is a 4-cup container. And that's just, I just want to put water in there till it covers the vegetables, which it's not going to do obviously because it's frozen. But I'm going to take it up till about 1 inch from the top of my pot. And we're just going to put this on medium-high. And once these vegetables are, that you can tell they're all, defrosted down, then we're going to let it cook, continue cooking for a half an hour, uncovered. Okay, so we have our veggie broth now. It had cooked for about a half an hour. And now we're going to strain it and then put it into our Tupperwares. And this part's a little tricky. It's a little bit, messy, but I'm just going to ladle off some of the juice first into it can be a bowl, but I have a finer mesh strainer here because some of my vegetables were, like I said, from juicing, so it's a little bit finer. And if I just poured it through here, then a lot of that pulp would still go through into the vegetable broth. So I'm just gonna do what I can with the ladle, and then I'll pour the bigger chunks into here. Okay, so here I have, it came out to about the same amount of liquid that I had originally put in it. So that's pretty good. So I just have my glass containers here, and these have about 4 cups in them, which would be about the standard size of a 1-liter box of vegetable broth. So I'm gonna do a couple of those because, that would be for maybe a soup or something like that. And then I'm gonna do the rest in these because some things just need a little extra nutrition or just a little extra flavor when you add your vegetable broth or a liquid. So just gonna pour that in there. And if you see, my My vegetable broth is pretty red because we eat a lot of beets. So I usually have a lot of beet scrap. And we eat a lot of kale and things like that. So, you know, mine tend to be pretty green or red looking. So it's not that color, that brown color that you typically see in vegetable broth. And maybe that's because of, you know, it's maybe potato scraps or onion scraps, but mine never turns out that color. So if you're making something like an Alfredo sauce or a creamy sauce that's more typically white, you might not want to use this kind of broth because it'll turn out pink and it might not look so appetizing. But most other stuff seems to be pretty okay. Okay, there we have it. So I'm going to leave these sitting on the counter for a little bit until they're perfectly cool, and then I'm going to stick them in the freezer. So then I have ready-made vegetable broth whenever I decide to make a soup. So if you like this video, please comment below and be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with all my new videos and new recipes. And check out my link to my new Patreon page so you can become a member of our Patreon community. And I'll see you next time.